today's episode of what adult ugh, can't speak. On today's episode of what adult free will allows you to do. If you've ever seen Dr. Seuss and you've seen green eggs and ham, I don't eat meat, so this is my version of green eggs and ham. Eggs with a yummy herby spinach arugula mix, and then I made bagels, homemade protein bagels, and I added pink strawberry powder, so dehydrated strawberries. I crushed them up and added it to the mixture, and I got pink bagels, which are actually a lot better than I thought they were going to be. I did not have high hopes for these pink bagels. At first I was like, I don't know, I'm not sure about these pink bagels, but they actually turned out really good. So yay me, I'm proud. If anybody wants a recipe on how to make these pink bagels, the recipe will be up later so you can see it. Also the green eggs. I'm also posting a recipe later on how to make the green eggs. I'm also proud of myself because instead of coffee, I'm drinking tea. Better than coffee. Well, maybe not better than coffee, but I don't know. I was feeling something different. Hence, having this fun breakfast, I'm like, you know what? Instead of coffee, I'm going to have some tea. Has anybody else ever had green eggs? This is my first time too, but, well, actually, no, I've had green shachutska, which shachutska has eggs in it, and they put something, I'm honestly not even sure how to make shachutska, but I've had somebody make it for me, and it was very good. I would definitely have it again. Cheers. Thank you. It's my version of green eggs and ham, but it's green eggs and a pink bagel that I made. I'm going to put up a recipe later on how to make all of this, so you can stay tuned for that. Where are you from? Your girl Nancy? I know, I love breakfast too. Next time I'll put out an invite. Yesterday I made pancakes. I don't know, I actually have a video up of what I made yesterday, and the pancakes turned out amazing. But today I was like, you know what? I want green eggs and not ham. Green eggs and pink bagels. Oh my gosh. Nancy, you got a lot going on. British, Irish, and Spanish. That's a lot. That's definitely a really good mixture too. Like the best of everything. Which side of your family is British and Irish, and which side is Spanish? I need all the butter. More butter, the better. These bagels turned out better than I could have imagined. Your dad is British and Irish, and your mom is British, Irish, and oh my gosh, that's interesting to even think how they would meet, and then they would have crossing over. Like, where did they meet? Did they meet in England or did they meet in Ireland? Like, how did that happen? Yes. I'm a big fan that butter can be a health food because I lost 38 pounds and I ate butter still. And I ate carbs and I ate all that good things. Like, you can still lose weight and eat everything. It's just better if you make it yourself. Oh, they met in England. Okay. Are you in England right now? What time is it in England? That's so true. No, all the stuff they tell you, like stay away from cheese, stay away from butter, stay away from pasta and pizza. I eat those every week and I used to stay away from them and I gained weight. Like, I was almost 150 pounds and now I'm 110 pounds. And I was able to eat all the things I wanted to eat by eating in moderation, but also making the things myself. So, like these bagels, I made them myself with Greek yogurt. So they're a little more nutrient dense than a bagel you would get at the store. Bye. Thanks for joining. Let me see what I missed in England. Now, I've never actually, I don't eat meat. So the red meat thing, I'm like, but I don't eat, it's not because I think meat is unhealthy. It's because when I was little, I had a traumatizing experience with some animals and then I just couldn't eat meat again after that. Oh, you're Canadian. Hello from Canada. Yesterday, when I made pancakes, I had some pure maple syrup from Canada. It was so good. It was the best thing that I could have put on the pancakes. What part of Canada are you from? I know Canada is pretty big. Mm-hmm. Alberta. Okay. Is it? Well, I mean, all of Canada is pretty cold, but is that an area that gets really, really cold? Don't mind me just choking on my bagel. Also, normally I drink coffee, so I'm really proud of myself for drinking tea today. Like organic peach tea. Yay, me. It's not as cold as up north, but it can get cold. I used to live in Chicago, and yeah, and being in Chicago, it could get really cold with the lake. But now I live in DC, and it's not that cold. It's not too bad. Oh, you're a big coffee drinker? Do you have a favorite type of coffee? I love like a warm coffee with a little bit of steamed milk. It's my favorite. You do get a lot of snow in Chicago. There were times where I could not even find my car because there was so much snow everywhere. Oh, see, there's nothing wrong with Folgers or Maxwell. They're the OG for a reason. People still buy them because they're just good. You can find them everywhere. Easy to make. I recently got myself an espresso machine And I do love it. It's my favorite thing. Dark roast. That sounds good. I usually go medium or dark. Just depends on my mood. But I can drink just coffee with nothing in it, but then there are days where I want a little bit of almond milk or a little bit of skim milk inside of it. Hmm. Have you visited the states, like the US? French vanilla creamer? That sounds really good. Honestly, I do love me some pumpkin spice, especially during this time of the year. Right now in my area, all the trees are changing colors and they look so pretty. Just drinking some pumpkin spice makes everything so much better. Working on getting your passport, that's awesome. Where's the first place you want to travel to? This year, I was lucky enough to go to India, and that was a lot of fun. I got to visit India. Autumn is a pretty time. Honestly, it's my favorite time. And it's my mom's birthday on Halloween, so we're going to dress up. It's going to be fun. Montana would be pretty. Colorado is very pretty too. Like if you like to go skiing, well, honestly, you're probably already sick of the snow. So maybe go somewhere warm. Go to Florida. Visit Disney in Florida or Key West. Key West is very pretty. But if you like hiking, like outdoor stuff, go to Utah because Utah has some really nice hiking areas. Thank you. This is like my morning hair. Like my baby hairs are all over the place, but I appreciate that because sometimes you never know what your hair is going to do when you wake up. But recently, I've been sleeping with a silk bonnet. It's made a difference. I will recommend silk bonnets to anybody. It keeps my hair from frizzing out too much. You want to find somewhere you can go overlanding? What's overlanding? Uh, so my name is Holistic Bravo. It was something that I created because I'm a strong believer in doing things as naturally as possible. So all the things I put on my face, my skin are all natural oils. I don't buy anything that has any excessive chemicals in it. So that's kind of why I'm Holistic Bravo. And then I do a lot of cooking for myself. I don't really eat out. And everything I cook for myself, I try to make it as nutrient dense as possible using as many plants, as many herbs, and everything just as natural as I could possibly make it. So if I'm eating pasta, I make my own pasta from scratch, or if I'm making bread, I make my own bread from scratch. Beef tallow, yeah, I know a lot of people really like beef tallow. I've actually never used it before. I also don't eat meat, So that's why I've never used it before, but I know that a lot of people find benefits with beef tallow. Mm. Oh, okay. So overlanding is like camping, but you have everything in your truck. Well, you know what? I could get down with that because I've never been the biggest fan of camping, but I think I could do that where I still have all my items close by. That would be fun. Um, I started, honestly, I'm 36 years old now, and I started this journey probably 2 decades ago. When I was 14, I stopped eating meat. And then ever since then, I was just trying to kind of be as I had a goal, and I still have a goal that I want to live to be over 100 years old or to be the oldest woman to live, which I believe is 114, is the oldest woman who've lived. Um, so yeah, ever since then, I'm like, I'm going to try and do everything naturally as I can to reach that goal. Yeah, yeah, I get that a lot. I know I don't look 36, but I was born in 1989. And yeah, definitely, I'm going to be 37 next March. So I definitely think um, my lifestyle has helped me stay looking young. Um, and then I use so much oil on my face, it's not even funny. I use uh, argan oil, I use castor oil, jojoba oil, rosehip oil, vitamin E oil, frankincense. I kind of mix it all up into a little concoction and I put that all over my skin. And I've seen really good results. Even my mom asked me if I had work done. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna take that as a compliment. If my own mom thought that I had some work done, I'm like, okay, that's nice. But I think somebody said that like everybody, what is it? Yeah, it's so true that everybody has like their own journey that they're on. And I don't think that just I'm plant based, but it doesn't mean that I think everybody has to be plant based. Like, I think there are merits to people who are carnivore or people who do all the different diets that are out there. I think they all have benefits. It just is a matter of what you stick to or what works for your lifestyle. So, like, this lifestyle works for me, but it might not work for everybody. That's the goal. It's the goal that by 56, hopefully then maybe I'll start looking 30-ish, you know. You'd be surprised. My skin is naturally oily, and I was always afraid to use oil because I thought it was going to make my skin even more oily. But ever since I started using just natural oils, it actually has lessened my oil that gets it. I don't know. It's like my face absorbs everything better now. And I haven't had any issues with like fine lines. I started almost developing like a fine line here, and then it started going away once I started using oils. So I don't know. I think there's a benefit, especially to castor oil, jojoba, and frankincense. Those three are like the OG ones if you're ever looking into anything like that. I think I'll make a video about what exactly I use and the bottles that I put it in. I also make my own under eye serum that seemed to work pretty well. Mhm. Yeah, that's true. Maybe because I use so many oils now, my body doesn't produce as many, which has helped me out, honestly. I used to go outside and then right away my skin would be oily. I'd have to use little blotting sheets everywhere, but now I don't have to do that. So it's nice. Somebody said they studied botany. Honestly, that's so cool. That's a subject that I always wanted to study is botany. I think plants are amazing and all the benefits that plants can give you and the fact that they're living things, like it's amazing. I do work out. Yes, I work out a lot actually. I work out probably 4 to 5 times a week. I do strength training, trying to build some muscle. It's helped. It's helped. I can lift my own body weight. Like I can do chin ups and pull ups now. And that took a long time. That took like a whole year of trying to do a chin up before I actually got to do one. Yay for the castor oil. So for me, since I stopped eating meat 23 years ago, I don't crave it because it's just been so long that I don't even remember how it tastes anymore. It's kind of weird how that happens. Like you forget what it tastes like. I don't know. Even when I smell meat being cooked, and most people would be like, "Oh, that smells good." For me, it kind of smells like I don't know. It just doesn't smell appealing. Like if I smell a veggie being cooked, that smells really good to me. But now if I smell meat, it has an adverse reaction. So for protein, I do a lot of like I mean, plants have protein too. So I do eat a lot of spinach, quinoa, tofu. I do a lot of lentils, love beans. I do plant-based protein powders. So there's one brand called Momentous that is amazing for that. They're very clean with their plant-based protein. They use a pea protein. Um, it's really good. But also, like it's not as hard to get in your protein as you would think if you break it down. Like I break it down into my 3 meals and I try to get about 30 to 35 grams of protein per meal. That way it just is a little easier to keep track of. Yeah, I am a vegetarian, so I'm not a vegan. I'm not a vegan. I'm a vegetarian. So vegans don't eat meat or don't eat meat, but they also don't eat anything that comes from an animal like eggs or honey. So I'm a vegetarian. I do eat eggs. And that's another source of protein for me is eating eggs. I actually stopped eating eggs for a while. Like there was a good 10 years in my 20s that I stopped. And then once I hit my 30s and started doing strength training, I felt like I needed something a little bit more nourishing. So then I worked eggs back into my diet again. And I've just seen a lot of benefits. So I do keep eggs in my rotation for protein. I don't think they meant that with malice. I think it was just a question. I mean, I don't mind having an open Discord with everybody. If you have any questions, I'm always here. Yeah. Yeah, vegans don't have cheese or milk or butter or anything that would come from an animal, but vegetarians can. And then there's pescatarians that they still eat fish. Um, I think there's a few more subcategories that people have made recently, but when I first stopped eating meat 2 decades ago, it was just vegan and vegetarian. They didn't have all these little subcategories that they have now. Also, when I stopped eating meat, I was only 13. And that was not easy because there wasn't as many options for non meat eaters as there is today. So I would just eat like little side salads when I would go out with my family because that was my only option. But now it's a lot easier to be a vegetarian now. I know also vegans, I mean, I do the same thing though. If I am buying something at the store like a shampoo, I always make sure that it's cruelty free, but that is something that vegans always extra look for. So if they're buying a mascara or an eyeliner, They always make sure that it doesn't use any kind of animal byproduct or wasn't used on an animal, which I think we should all be kind of conscious on that because it's not nice when they test products on little bunnies. Yeah. Yeah, that's true. That's true. There's a lot of new terms. No, now going through this as long as I have, every day there's like a new term that pops up and I'm like, "Oh, okay. I didn't know that." But I just say vegetarian mostly, but all the stuff, like if you look at my videos, I just try to use as many natural items as I can, as far as like as many veggies as I can pack into my meal, as many grains as I can pack into my meal. Like if I'm making pasta, I try to keep it super simple, just the flour and one egg, because that's all you need, 100 grams of flour and an egg, or you can use water to make pasta, just 100 grams of water and 50 grams of water. Let's not even get started on the whole gender thing. Yeah. That would be fun. Honestly, that would be really fun. Find me like a hardcore carnivore who's been eating meat for just, yeah, 20 plus years of their life. We could talk about it. Honestly, I'd be curious. I'd be curious to see. I'm curious to see what's going to happen in another 20 years. I want to see what it's going to look like when I'm 40. Well, what? I would be 50, 56, 50. I don't even know. I can't imagine that in 20 years I'm going to be 50 something. Seems like such a long way away. But if you can find me somebody who's been on that carnivore journey for 2 decades now, oof, let's talk. Tag them. Let me know. Where's everybody from, by the way? I know we had somebody earlier from Canada. We had someone from the UK. I appreciate you guys sitting here and having breakfast with me, by the way. That's nice. It's sometimes nice not to eat alone. That's so true. That's really true. There's that really good documentary that Arnold Schwarzenegger produced, and it was about all these vegans and vegetarians who are heavyweight bodybuilders. Like they're lifting crazy amounts of weight and doing it all on plants. Like you can definitely do a lot being plant based. Hey, Nigeria, welcome. You know what? That's true. Some places, yeah, you don't get to choose what you eat. And growing up, I really didn't get to choose. It wasn't until I got into high school that my mom was like, "Okay, you can choose." Because I did want to stop. I wanted to stop eating meat when I was like 6 or 7 years old, but my mom was worried that I was too young still, so she wanted me to wait a few years. Honestly, I would love to visit Africa. It's so beautiful, and I just love every part of Africa is so different. Like you guys have your own dialects, your own ways of speaking, your culture. It's all so beautiful. I have been outside the US, just never to Africa. I've been to Europe, I've been to Rome, France. I've been to the UK, I went to London. This year, I went to India for the first time, New Delhi. And then a few years ago, I went to China and I visited Beijing and Xi'an, which is their capital in China. But I would love to go to Africa. I would love to go to Australia. Like there's still so many places on my bucket list I want to go to. I know, let me know some places I should go and visit, especially in Africa. Which places in Africa should I go visit? Because there's so many different areas. That's like when people come to the US, like there's a lot of areas. You could go to California, you could go to New York, you can go to Chicago, Florida. Like there's a lot of different areas. Oh, you're from India. Yay. No, I had a really good time in India. It was a lot of fun. I wish I could have stayed longer. It was just a few days for work, but if I could have, I would have stayed longer. And I only got to go to New Delhi, so I didn't get to go to any other area, unfortunately. Maybe in South Africa. Oh, that would be really pretty to go on a safari. A safari in Kenya. Oh my gosh, that would be so fun. I get that. Honestly, there's a lot of countries that are like that, where like the gap between, the people who have everything and the people who have nothing is so big. And their country could be doing more to help them, but they don't. Like that's kind of how, to me, that's how India was. Like when I was walking around, you can definitely tell like there was people who had nothing, and then you could see the people that had everything on the other side, and it was such a big difference. What would so I'm gonna make a video about this later, but I wanted to make green eggs and ham, kind of like from Dr. Seuss, but I don't eat ham. So I made pink bagels with strawberry powder, and then I made green eggs using herbs that I kind of like blended up and then poured on top of the eggs. And it actually turned out really good. I was pretty impressed. What part of India are you from? How many calories is in this? Oh, that's well, I had 3 eggs, but I still have one left that I didn't eat. Which each egg has 60 calories. And then I had my bagel that I made homemade. So using the homemade bagel, I used 70 grams of flour, 70 grams of Greek yogurt, and then I added strawberry powder to make it pink. So that's probably, I'm gonna say my bagel is probably at least 250 calories, I would say. So altogether, if I finish it, it's probably about 500 calories ish, maybe 500 to 600 calories, I would say. I try to make each one of my meals between 500 and 600 calories. So my breakfast usually keeps me full all the way until lunch. And then the same thing, my lunch keeps me full all the way until dinner. And I don't really snack when I'm full. If I'm not full, then I'm going to be snacking. But that's why I try to keep myself full as possible throughout the day. Where's my T-Rex? So my T-Rex is actually at my second mom's house. I call her my second mom. She's my best friend's mom, but I call her mom too. So today I'm actually going on a little trip. So I left him over there today. So unfortunately, I don't have my best friend here. I'm sad. Hmm. I've never heard of that. So let me see. Udaipur. What part of India is that in? Also, what time is it in India right now? Like, is it pretty late? Right now it's 11, it's a little past 11:30 here. So that's in the afternoon. Uh, I haven't tried, no, I've never had lab grown meat. So like the whole fake meat, like the Beyond Meats and the Impossible Meats, I think they're really good for people now who are trying to transition into not eating meat, but they don't want to give up their favorite foods, their burgers and all that. I think that's great for that. But now in my stage and on my health journey stage, I don't like doing any of those. I feel like they have a little too many chemicals in them. So for me, I'd stay away from them. But I know that for people who are just starting out on their health journey, they can be really good tools to use to transition over without feeling like you're giving up all of these things that you love to eat. Oh, 9:18 p.m. That's not too bad. I thought it was a lot later. 9:18 is not bad. Is it not central India? I wouldn't know. You could tell me anything and I wouldn't know. I'd have to look at a map to know exactly where that would be. But yeah, has anybody else tried lab grown meat or have you tried like those impossible meats or the Beyond meats? For me, I'm just not a fan. Like, I don't know. There are other things out there. I'd rather just have regular fruits and veggies than have like the lab grown meats. Also, if I went back to India, what part of India do you guys think I should visit? Because I went to New Delhi, but I want to go to a different area, of course. I'd like to try some other areas. Oh, it's Western India. Hmm. Yeah, the idea of meat, just because I haven't eaten meat for so long, now the idea of meat does make me sick, just because it's been 23 years. But I don't mind if I'm at like a restaurant and somebody's eating meat next to me, like that doesn't bother me. But just me, if I thought about myself eating meat, that, ugh, yeah, that kind of freaks me out a little bit. I don't blame you for not wanting lab grown meat. Unfortunately, though, a lot of these like producers of meat now are using cheaper methods of making meat, and some of it is starting to go towards lab grown because it's just cheaper to produce. Like they don't have to have whole farms of animals. They can produce these pieces of meat right inside a lab, which is a lot cheaper for them than to hire a farmer, keep up with the livestock, feed the livestock. So honestly, I don't know how much longer we're going to have like pure meat, or the price of pure meat is probably going to go up. And the price of lab meat is going to be so cheap that people are going to have no choice but to buy those lab grown meats. Unfortunately, that's kind of how things are going. Hmm. Don't go in the summer? Okay. Hi, welcome. No, I appreciate you guys telling me about India because definitely when I go back, I'm going to want to go back with more knowledge. Because when I went, it was last minute, so I didn't get to do any research. I would like to go back with more research and know where to go, know where to visit. Hmm. One thing I do miss about India is the masala chai. That was so good. I had that every day when I was in India. Hmm. Hey, I'm proud of you, Sun Faith. That's not an easy journey. But the fact that you're saying you want to start, everybody has to start from somewhere. So that's the first step is saying you want to start. I would say try to do it slowly. Don't try and stop everything right away. Just go in little steps. Give yourself a whole year and plan out your whole year where, okay, this month I'm going to cut back on a few drinks. And then the next month, okay, I'm going to try looking for alternatives. Because now when you go out to drink court, they have a lot of mocktails, which is what I do when I go out and my friends are drinking. I'll do an alternative. I'll do a non-alcoholic drink so that way I can still feel like I'm joining in on the party, but I'm not drinking. And then with the cigarettes, I know that one is really hard. Cigarette dependency is very, very difficult. You just got to start slowly taking yourself out of the places that people are smoking, the temptations. But hey, you already made the first step. You made the declaration. So now that you made the declaration, write it down, write down your little goals, small goals every day, just one little small goal. That's what it's about. It's not trying to do everything at once because when people try and do everything at once, it just fails. It falls apart. So so later, what's your name, Scott? Look at my video later, and you'll see that I made a green egg and ham, kind of like by Dr. Seuss, but instead of ham, I made a pink bagel to look like ham. So I just wanted some green eggs today. I don't know. Maybe tomorrow I'll want some blue eggs. You never know. That's true. Big changes do require strong wills, but we can grow those strong wills. Like you may think right now that you're not strong enough, but trust me, you just keep going every single day, taking out the people in your life that are trying to encourage you to do those things. Just keep the people around you who are encouraging you to stop. When I stopped doing certain things that were toxic to me, I had to cut some friends out, and it was sad at the time, but it was for the best. Sometimes you just have to cut those toxic people out of your life so you can better yourself because you need to take care of yourself. Yay, little by little. You know what? You got this. You got this. If you want to DM me on Instagram and let me know about your journey, I could be your buddy and tell you like to keep going. I'll send you little messages every day. On Instagram, it's the same name, Holistic Bravo, or you can go on my YouTube page and it has a link to my Instagram on there. But yeah, sometimes you just need a friend to help encourage you every day, and I could do that for you, definitely. Hmm. This is pretty nice. It's noon and we're already making changes. That's good. I should probably go though, because I have to pack for my trip later. Okay, it was nice talking to everybody. Maybe we'll talk again tomorrow. I'm gonna try and go live again tomorrow sometime in the morning. It'll probably be about 7 a.m. or 8 a.m. the United States time, so Florida time. Okay. Okay, Sunfaith. It was nice talking to everybody. Have a great day. Stay positive, stay bright. If it's nighttime, I hope you have good dreams. I hope you're able to get to bed very quickly. Goodbye, everybody.